Anne Boleyn, Queen of England. This is my latest painting of her. It's oil on canvas, 70 by 80 centimeters, and it took me like 6 months to finish. She was the second wife and queen consort of King Henry VIII. She was pioneer of the English Reformation, mother to the future Queen Elizabeth I. Having failed in giving Henry a male heir, she was then tried on trumped-up charges of adultery, incest, and high treason, then sentenced to death and beheaded along with her brother and 4 more courtiers. And ever since her death, historians and all kinds of people have been fascinated by her history and her tragic fall, and of course, I'm one of those people. I do have an older painting of her from back in 2018. Then I reworked that original one in 2019, and this is its current state. But that one still remains just historically not very accurate, because a couple of years back when I was painting it, I wasn't really familiar with the period historically, clothing-wise, physical looks, etc. And this new painting, I wanted it to be historically accurate in terms of fashion and her actual facial features. Of course, I might have romanticized her looks a bit, once again, but then again, that's why I'm an artist and not a professional historian. I always like to romanticize a bit, to dramatize it a bit. Artists always invest in their work their own little portion of idealism. In terms of clothing, I went for Anne Boleyn's look from the only surviving contemporary image we have of her, which is the Coronation Medal. This is my favorite one of hers, as it shatters that automatic image we have of Anne, with the sassy French hood and whatnot. On the medal, we actually see how she most likely would have worn herself in the most queenly manner, employing the look of the traditional English hood, or gable hood as it's more commonly known. Now the thing is, I might have exaggerated here all the tiny details on the hood, as well as her gown and sleeves. I went ahead and made these patterns up completely, simply because the realistic looking ones didn't have as much detail, and I wanted to stuff as much detail in there as I could. I just love me a horribly detailed painting. In her hands, she's holding like a bouquet of roses in a wooden vase, which has miniature portraits of herself and Henry. Oh, and on her sleeves, I painted her initials in golden embroidery. The giant pendant on her neck, again, completely fictional on my part. I just wanted to put something there that was full of detail again. And then the background, I don't know where she is. It kind of looks like the interior of a chapel, but I don't want to try and overly specify it, because it's just a background. I wanted it to give off the vibe and atmosphere of the chancel of St. Peter's Church and the tower where Anne is buried. And along with the video, I'll try to include a series of pictures of the painting in process, kind of like a time-lapse of the entire thing.